father of the waters. Long ago, at an undetermined time in what is now northern Minnesota, near the lake we know today as Lake Itasca, a Neanderthal family made their home in a modest cave. They were the sole family inhabiting the earth, surrounded by a cold and lifeless world was shrouded in absolute silence, and the heartbeat of this couple was the only sound to be heard. During this era, everything was cloaked in grey, as if ash had fallen from the sky. In truth, it was the grip of the first and deepest depression that held sway over the world. There was no day or night, no warmth or cold, no sense of past or future, no sunrises or sunsets. The sky remained clear and without a single star. Although nothing descended from that empty sky to the earth below, still. Occasionally, rain would fall, but it never touched the earth, as if an invisible barrier separated the sky from the ground. Though there were no seasons, snow still fell. The snowflakes were as dry as scraps of paper, vanishing before they reached the ground. That state persisted until the day, the sky filled with unfamiliar shapes, what we now call clouds. Our family was both astonished and awed by the event, because it was the first change they had ever witnessed. Soon after, a storm began, and dust rose from the ground, sweeping away the greyness that had covered the earth. Rain began to fall once more, but this time it was different. The droplets cleansed the earth as they fell. Colour returned to the earth once more. Shortly after, raindrops transformed into snowflakes, and distinct seasons began to emerge. Overnight, without any prior sign of pregnancy, the woman gave birth to a boy. His parents named him Son, inspired by their reverence for the sun. After a brief winter, spring returned with relentless rain, its droplets sparkling like diamonds. The little son grew so rapidly under the rays that he scarcely had time to learn to speak, leaving his true voice still concealed in uncertainty, resulting in a mild speech disorder known as stuttering. One day, after a rainfall, as the boy wandered near the cave, he caught sight of his reflection in a small lake. He thought he had found a friend, but the image quickly faded, leaving him disappointed. He waited for his friend's return, but it never came. Devastated, he made his way back to the cave and recounted his ordeal, but his parents could not understand him. Heavy-hearted, he circled the ancient tree to visit his teacher, only for a torrential downpour to suddenly begin. The sun set, darkness enveloped everything, and still he waited. As the moon rose, the teacher emerged, an ancient, wise owl who had inhabited the area long before anyone else. He told the old owl what had happened to his friend and asked for guidance. The old owl smiled and said, "I know where your friend has gone, but it is very far from here." Then he said, "You should pray to Mother Nature for help in reaching your dream." Mother Nature heard his prayer and did all she could to help him realize his dream. The snow ceased in the mountains, and warmth returned to the land. As the snow began to melt, a pivotal moment in the history of life unfolded. From Mother Nature, the Father of Waters was born. The purest, clearest turquoise water flowed down the mountain, guiding the little son on his journey to fulfill his dream. He bears the immense responsibility of serving as the father to all the waters across the world. Nothing could deter the Father of Waters from fulfilling his promise to help the little son. The mountains and cliffs still stand, silent witnesses to this extraordinary feat. After a long and arduous journey, he at last reached near the cave, ready to pick up the little son. The little son gazed in awe at the water, intending to say Mississippi, meaning great river, but because of his stutter, uttered Mississippi instead. And that is why, to this day, we call it the Mississippi. He bathed in the lake and set off in his handmade boat on a journey that, by today's measure, spanned 2,340 miles. Now, the boundless journey is about to begin. But what will be the first challenge? After a brief boat ride, he came to a fork in the water, and the little son had to choose the correct path. He listened to his heart to find the right path, for in those days, the heart, not the brain, was believed to guide one's thoughts. Not long after setting out on his journey, he paused and dreamed of farming on the far side of the river. Suddenly, a storm erupted. But what secret force had set it in motion? The storm swept away the soil, but what was it meant to deliver in return? He was astonished as corn seeds arrived on his land from a place still shrouded in mystery. They were the very first immigrants to set foot on this land. The soil and seeds were prepared, but without moisture, how could they possibly germinate? At that moment, the Father of Waters offered some of his water, which evaporated to form clouds above. A heavy rain began, each droplet splitting into 100 smaller ones. Corn sprouted from the earth, symbolizing the Father of Waters' vital role in agriculture and sustaining future generations. As each raindrop split into hundreds of smaller droplets, each corn seed mirrored this pattern, yielding hundreds more seeds in turn. Concerned for his crops, he created a guardian named Care Grow to watch over the fields and ensure their well-being. The little son named him Care Grow, but what events and what hidden schemes led to his fall from Care Grow to Scarecrow? This isn't merely about a few letters changed, whether by accident or design, but about Care Grow's true identity itself. Today, he is no longer with us. Otherwise, he would have launched a campaign to restore Care Grow's true name and purpose. Leaving Care Grow was difficult, but he had no choice. His journey demanded that he move on. He bid farewell to Care Grow and set off on his journey, wondering who would watch over Care Grow in his absence. After leaving the cornfield, he came upon another field where something unusual was unfolding. The world faded to grey once more, but this time it wasn't depression. Something else entirely was unfolding. There was a plantation where black labourers toiled in the cotton fields, harvesting the white crop. It was not a matter of black and white, but a tragedy of human dignity being destroyed. Daytime on the cotton plantation drew to a close in a way unlike anywhere else on Earth. The sun dipped below the horizon early, granting the labourers more time to rest. Despite those dark days, the nights glowed with brightness as the cotton gleamed under the moonlight. The little son left the cotton plantation as, for the first time, the moon blushed red with shame at what had transpired. Gliding beneath the moonlit sky, he felt the moon's gentle glow caress his skin. He could almost reach out and touch the moon with his hand. In his youth, the Father of Waters was strong enough to draw the moon closer to the earth, dispelling the darkness. It seemed to draw near the earth, nestling behind a pair of hills beyond the river. Sadly, the situation has changed, and now the phenomenon known as ebb and flow prevails. The question lingers, was this ebb and flow caused by the Father of Waters growing old, or by the indifference of modern people toward the river? As he drifted beneath the moonlit sky, he pondered who would illuminate the world if anything befell the Father of Waters. The little son arrived at a place where darkness was dispelled, not by sunrise, but by the rising of the moon. But where had the sun disappeared to? Midway through his journey, he paused at a concrete structure where the power of the Father of Waters was transformed into light. Now, tiny stars scattered across the land, casting their glow not only through the night, but also lighting up the world below. The Father of Waters never overflowed from abundance, but erupted in rebellion against the arrogance of humankind. At one point, temperatures plummeted to hundreds of degrees below zero, colder even than the Ice Age, yet the Father of Waters never froze. Although some records suggest the Father of Waters froze in recent history, this was not due to frigid temperatures, but rather the result of segregation and the separation of families. Now, the Father of Waters enters the modern era, adapting to the challenges and changes of a new age. Despite his vast and far-reaching influence, the Father of Waters humbled himself to power the engines of industry. At first, Little Son's boat was the only one gliding down the river, but now it has become a busy thoroughfare for countless ships transporting goods. They carry goods from the lands of sunrise to distant places where the sun sets. They also transported goods from lands where the sun was setting to destinations where dawn was just breaking. Thanks to the Father of Waters, who links the lands on either side, fuel now flows from the east to the west. They receive fuel from their eastern neighbours and, in return, export goods and products in exchange. Unlike other rivers that divide the land, the Father of Waters unites two shores, bringing them together. Although the Father of Waters offers a direct route for transport, the reality is quite different. He never follows a straight path. Instead, he winds and twists across the land, his true nature still veiled in mystery. As the Father of Waters winds onward, small rivers converge from every direction, traversing deserts, mountains, and valleys to unite with him. These small rivers do not exist merely to feed the Father of Waters. Rather, they are destined to form the boundaries of states yet to be established. They also bring soil from distant lands as a tribute to the Father of Waters, forging a bond of kinship with him. After a long journey, the little son arrived at a place where the Father of Waters stretched endlessly, vast and deep. Today we call it the ocean, but in truth, it is merely an extension of the Father of Waters. The little son set foot on the shore, disheartened that his journey had ended without finding his friend. Though his heart ached with disappointment, something bright and gleaming suddenly caught his eye, sparkling in the sunlight. He walked toward it, picked it up, and wiped it clean. What he saw was unbelievable. At last, blessed by the mighty river, he reunited with his friend. Smiling softly, he whispered, "Here is my friend, here am I." Indeed, this was an untold story of the Father of Waters, the Mississippi River, and the profound purpose behind its creation. Today, we honor this river for its profound influence on the growth of agriculture, industry, transportation, the economy, literature, and the very history of our nation. Yet we seldom realize that Mother Nature brought forth the Father of Waters to fulfill Little Son's dream. His dream shaped our community, and now it is time to honor this often overlooked group we call stutterers. Each year, there is a day dedicated to celebrating them. But which day is it?